Have you ever heard of a disaster so immense, it created laws we still follow today? What if I told you that in a quiet Canadian port, a series of missteps led to one of history's most devastating explosions? This isn't just any story, it's the tale of the Halifax Explosion, a catastrophic event that reshaped a city and the world's approach to maritime safety. Let's dive into this historical saga and uncover its astonishing details. In the early 20th century, the world was embroiled in the First World War, a conflict that reached every corner of the globe. Amidst this turmoil, the city of Halifax in Nova Scotia, Canada, stood as a bustling nerve center for North Atlantic shipping. It was here, in this strategic port brimming with wartime fervor, that a seemingly routine morning in December 1917 would unfold into an unprecedented disaster. Enter the SS Mont Blanc, a French cargo ship loaded with a volatile cocktail of explosives, picric acid, TNT, and benzol, among others. Her mission was to carry these critical war supplies from Halifax to the battlegrounds of Europe. On the flip side, we had the Norwegian vessel SS Imo, destined for New York to take on relief supplies for war-torn Belgium. On the morning of December 6th, the stage was set for a catastrophic misstep. The Halifax Harbour, a bustling hub of warships, cargo vessels and trawlers, was governed by a precise set of navigation rules designed to prevent collisions. However, on that fateful day, these rules would be tragically overlooked. As the SS Mont Blanc made her way through the narrowest part of the harbour, she encountered the SS Imo, travelling in the opposite direction. A series of signals were exchanged, but confusion reigned supreme. The standard protocol for ship navigation was misinterpreted by both vessels, leading them on a deadly collision course. The two ships, locked in a perilous dance, attempted to avoid each other, but it was too late. The Imo's bow crashed into the Mont Blanc's side, a seemingly minor collision at first glance. However, unbeknownst to many onlookers, this was the spark that would ignite one of the most devastating man-made explosions the world had ever seen. As the Mont Blanc caught fire, her crew, aware of the imminent danger, abandoned ship, desperately warning those on shore of the impending disaster. But their cries went largely unheeded as the residents of Halifax, unaware of the explosive cargo, gathered along the waterfront to witness the spectacle of the burning ship. In those moments, as the SS Mont Blanc's flames licked the sky, a catastrophic chain of events was set in motion, one that would forever change the city of Halifax and echo through the annals of maritime history. As the Mont Blanc burned fiercely, an ominous cloud of smoke rose over Halifax. The ship, now a ticking time bomb, was anchored in the heart of the bustling harbour, a stone's throw from the densely populated shore. The spectacle drew a crowd, curious locals and workers alike, unaware of the horror that was about to unfold. Minutes ticked by, each one pushing the Mont Blanc closer to its catastrophic fate. Then, at 9:04 a.m., the inevitable happened. The Mont Blanc exploded with a force so powerful, it shattered the morning calm, turning it into a nightmare. The blast was so immense it registered as a 5.5 magnitude earthquake. Buildings vaporized, a tsunami surged in the harbour, and a shockwave demolished everything in its path. The heart of Halifax was instantly transformed into a war zone. Over 600 people lost their lives in that instant, and thousands more were injured. The North End, a bustling neighbourhood, was obliterated. The Richmond district, once a lively hub, was reduced to ruins. But amidst the devastation, there were moments of absurdity that defied belief. A cannon barrel from the Mont Blanc was found 2 miles away. An anchor shaft landed miles from the blast site. And a window from Halifax was later discovered in the neighbouring town of Dartmouth, intact. In those moments following the explosion, a stunned silence enveloped the city. Then, as the reality of the catastrophe sank in, the silence gave way to screams and chaos. The people of Halifax, dazed and injured, scrambled amidst the rubble, searching for loved ones, trying to make sense of the inexplicable. What followed the initial shock was a display of humanity at its most raw and real. Ordinary people turned heroes, digging through debris, rescuing the trapped and injured. All the while, a thick, acrid smoke hung over the city, a grim reminder of the tragedy that had befallen Halifax. This was not just an explosion, it was a defining moment in the history of Halifax. A tragic instance where a series of small misjudgments led to a disaster of unimaginable proportions. A city, vibrant and full of life, had in a matter of seconds been transformed into a scene of Apocalyptic devastation, marking December 6, 1917, as one of the darkest days in Canadian history. The blast had turned the bustling North End into a wasteland. Homes and businesses obliterated, streets unrecognizable. Amid the chaos, a profound silence settled, soon shattered by the cries of the injured and the sound of emergency bells. As the city reeled from the impact, extraordinary tales of survival and heroism began to surface. Rescuers, amidst the danger of fires and collapsing buildings, dug tirelessly through the rubble. They uncovered miraculous stories of survival. Children pulled alive from under debris, families reunited against all odds, and individuals selflessly aiding others despite their own injuries. The destruction was vast and indiscriminate. The Richmond district, once a lively residential area, was now a landscape of destruction. Over 600 people had perished, and thousands more were injured. The explosion had not only shattered buildings, but had also torn the fabric of the community. Yet in the face of this unprecedented disaster, the spirit of Halifax stood strong. The community's response was immediate and selfless. Citizens turned their homes into makeshift hospitals, and volunteers from all walks of life came forward to offer aid. The city, though battered, was united in its grief and determination to rebuild. The response to the disaster extended far beyond the city limits. Aid poured in from across Canada, with cities like Toronto and Montreal sending supplies and medical aid. The Canadian government, recognizing the scale of the tragedy, mobilized resources to assist in the relief efforts. But it was the international response that truly showcased the global community's solidarity. The United States, particularly, the city of Boston, was quick to lend a helping hand. A relief train, loaded with medical personnel, supplies, and volunteers, was dispatched from Boston within hours of the explosion. This act of generosity forged a lasting bond between Halifax and Boston, celebrated to this day through the annual gift of a Christmas tree from Halifax to Boston. The aftermath of the explosion also marked a pivotal moment in emergency response and disaster preparedness. For the first time in Canada, the newly established distress signal SOS was used extensively. The lessons learned from the disaster led to significant changes in maritime safety regulations and emergency response protocols, not just in Canada but around the world. Rebuilding Halifax was a monumental task. The reconstruction efforts saw not only the restoration of the physical city, but also a rejuvenation of the community spirit. New neighborhoods were built, and memorials erected to honor those lost in the tragedy. The Halifax Explosion, a dark chapter in the city's history, became a story of resilience, unity, and the indomitable human spirit. Today, the memory of the Halifax Explosion serves as a solemn reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of community in the face of adversity. It stands as a testament to the resilience of Halifax, a city that rose from the ashes to rebuild itself stronger and more united than ever before. In the years following the Halifax explosion, the city not only rebuilt its physical structures, but also its spirit. The catastrophe left an indelible mark on Halifax, shaping its identity and future. It's a story not just of tragedy, but of transformation and legacy. The legal and societal impact of the explosion was profound. One of the most significant outcomes was the overhaul of maritime safety regulations. The disaster served as a grim reminder of the dangers of transporting hazardous materials, leading to stricter international shipping laws and more rigorous protocols for handling explosives. This tragedy, in a way, redefined global maritime safety standards. The story of the Halifax explosion is a tapestry of human error, tragedy, resilience, and renewal. It's a narrative that resonates with the universal themes of loss, recovery, and the unyielding strength of the human spirit. As we look back at this chapter in history, we're reminded of the capacity for change and growth that can emerge from even the darkest of times. In remembering the Halifax explosion, we pay tribute to the resilience of a city and its people. It's a legacy that extends far beyond the shores of Halifax, echoing through time as a powerful reminder of our shared humanity and the enduring strength of community. As we close this chapter on the Halifax explosion, we're reminded of a powerful truth. From great tragedy can come profound change. This event reshaped safety standards and united communities in unparalleled ways. Halifax's story is one of resilience, a testament to the strength found in unity. What are your thoughts on this remarkable piece of history? Share in the comments and join the conversation about the legacy that continues to impact us today.